Poor Things is one of the weirdest films of 2023, but it's an incredible, wacky trip into the mind of an exceptional director in Yorgos Lanthimos. It's much brighter and more ambitious than his other films like The Lobster and The Killing of a Sacred Deer, but it has the same amazing costume design as films like The Favorite. People complain all the time that we don't have strong female characters. Well, add Emma Stone as Bella Baxter to the list of strong leading ladies, because not only is this her best performance to date, but the arc her character goes through leaves you conflicted, hopeful, and ultimately quite satisfied. People also love to complain that there's no original stories or movies anymore. Well, they likely haven't seen a Lanthimos film. This movie got me genuinely excited about what directors are capable of when they're not held back or handcuffed by censorship, political ideology, or endless notes from studios. Poor Things is a creative masterpiece. I really got the sense that everyone got to play a little bit with this film, that they actually got to have fun on set because of how quirky and wild it was. And this movie is actually one of the funnier films of the year. It's more of a dark comedy, as most Lanthimos films are, so if that's not your thing, this movie may not be for you. And I will say up front, this movie is definitely not for everyone. There is quite a bit of nudity and graphic sex in the film, but it does serve a purpose. Bella Baxter, played brilliantly by Emma Stone, has been reanimated by a scientist after throwing herself off a bridge. She has a very childlike way about her, and as she develops and strikes out on her own, she discovers her own sense of adventure and sexual liberation. The visuals, the costumes, the dissonant musical score, and the acting are all incredible, and when combined, make for one of the year's best films. The story of Poor Things is quite original, which is what makes it so compelling, but it is a unique spin on the familiar tale of Victor Frankenstein. Poor Things is based off the book of the same name by Alasdair Gray. For those who like Emma Stone, Mark Ruffalo, and Willem Dafoe, you are in for a treat with this movie, as they get to show off their acting chops while sharing a compelling story in the process. Dafoe always brings his A-game, and this is no exception, as he plays a tortured eunuch scientist. Ruffalo finally gets to shed his green skin and settle into a sleazy douchebag who is obsessed with Bella Baxter. Emma Stone is incredible in this film, the standout performance for me, and she will definitely be up for an Oscar for this performance. She plays such a wide range, from very immature and emotional to distraught and heartbroken to absolutely cold and calculating. She plays Bella Baxter in a way that questions societal norms by pointing out how ridiculous certain things are. For instance, she spits out food, and when told that it is not polite, she replies, "Why would I keep it in my mouth when it's revolting?" Emma Stone gives herself entirely over to the role, and the film simply wouldn't have worked if she hadn't fully committed to the eccentric oddity that is Bella Baxter. Poor Things has many themes interwoven into the narrative, including the ethics of science versus the natural order. Should we push the envelope or leave well enough alone? Other themes include the idea of sexual autonomy, empowerment, and liberation. The film also questions societal norms around sex, dining, what we can and can't say, and it's quite refreshing to see Bella challenge these norms in a very matter-of-fact way. The vibrant visual style of the film is absolutely stunning. It helps the viewer to see the world through Bella's eyes with wonderment and awe. In the beginning, the film bounces back and forth between black and white and color. The monotone color palette explodes into color when Bella experiences a new city and starts to really discover herself. The entire thing feels like one big awakening for Bella Baxter and for the audience. Poor Things is 2 hours and 21 minutes, and it really utilizes the runtime efficiently. Bella's story arc goes essentially from that of an infant all the way to a fully liberated woman, and that's something that can't be rushed. None of the scenes felt overly bloated, and the performances, costumes, and visuals were all top shelf. So who is this movie for? Poor Things is for anyone who likes unconventional comedy, the strange, the weird, the macabre, and simply different types of films. This movie stands out as uniquely different from almost every other film of the year. Poor Things has a super charming quirk to it that has made me think about it more than almost any other film in 2023. Yorgos Lanthimos fans won't be disappointed, as I think this is maybe his most refined piece of directing yet. This movie is for people who like to go on whatever journey the director wants to take them on. Wacky films like the Daniel's Swiss Army Man and Everything Everywhere All at Once have a similar style in that they don't hold back and they lean into the weird. Poor Things is not for people who are easily offended, but rather those who watch films to be transported, to be challenged, and to go on a wild ride. Poor Things does not disappoint, and it's the type of film that I want more filmmakers to have the courage to make. If you're feeling sexy, my friend, subscribe, check out my latest video here, and I will catch you in the next one.